me tell you a story.
Welcome to My Skeptical Sister.
I'm Megan, the skeptical one.
I'm Erin, the believer. So this has been a big topic in our house because we watch TikTok.
Mm-hmm.
By we, I mean me. It's just the royal we. It's just me. Kevin, I make him watch TikToks on occasion.
Right.
Have you seen the thing about the Roman Empire?
Oh, you sent it to me.
Yeah, it's so weird.
Yeah.
Apparently men think about this all the time.
Who knew? James got so defensive about this question.
So weird.
Well, because I read to him, I said, yeah, Erin wants me to ask you because apparently this is what all men do. Well, then he got real defensive. And he was like, not all men. I was like, well, do you? And he was like, well, yeah.
It's not all men because Kevin was like, I've never once thought about the Roman Empire. I'm like, really? He said,
maybe it's all American men.
I know, that's what I said. But then we asked his brother, and his brother was like, I don't know. Like, maybe. He said, I don't really do it. We're like, no, say like how often? He said, guess like once a month. Or like, that's more than we do.
That's so weird.
It's so
weird.
weird.
Tell everybody like what.
So apparently there's this like trend going on. If you are not on TikTok, you might not know about it. But somebody, I don't know how it got brought up originally,
Yeah.
said, how often do you think about the Roman Empire? And their husband was like, at least every day. And then women kept asking their male partners, and they were like, yeah, at least every day. Once a week was like kind of pushing it. But yeah, Kevin thought that was weird. But then I started thinking, like, I don't think of anything, like maybe like true crime stuff. I'm kind of into that.
Mm-hmm.
But there's one topic
Oh, here we go.
that once I think about it, I don't think about it all the time, but once I
Okay.
think about it, it's pretty much all I think about until I fall asleep. And then I wake up with a clean slate.
Sourdough.
No.
Oh.
Okay, picture a centaur.
A centaur. Oh, like a half
Half
horse,
half man.
Okay.
Where are those genitals? Are they
Of course, this is what you think of.
like in the back where horses would be? Or are they up front where a person's would be? Because listen,
What?
it is better image like to picture it if it's
A
in the back where a
horse.
horse.
Yeah.
But then picture a horse or a centaur doing it with somebody. Because it is like backwards. Like, if you picture it, I'm gonna do, I know it's not a visual medium, but here's the horse.
Yeah, I feel like I
getting
could.
it.
Yeah.
And then here's the centaur, and his head is way back here. That is so bizarre. It is just looking up at the
Yeah.
stars.
It's also a made-up creature.
I'm just saying, somebody has to answer that question for me, is all I'm saying.
I don't think they have to because
Oh,
it's make-believe.
they
It's
have
like
to.
asking what's underneath Donald Duck's or like why he doesn't wear pants. He doesn't need to wear pants.
It's got feathers. It covers
He's got
everything.
feathers, but also he doesn't have genitalia because he's a cartoon.
Well, sure.
Just saying. Just saying.
I'm just saying.
Oh my
Once you think
gosh,
about
Erin,
it, it's hard to stop thinking
I
about
really feel like I'll never think of that again. I
doubt
probably
it.
will think of the Roman Empire before I'll think of centaur genitalia. I
don't
can
know.
guarantee it.
I can't watch Harry Potter without thinking of it. We just finished
Oh.
Harry Potter 1 tonight with Nellie because we just finished the book, and the whole time I was like, how do they fuck? Like, how do they do it?
I love how as you're reading this to your 8-year-old daughter, that's what you're thinking really
is.
secretly in the back of your mind.
It is totally what I'm
Oh
thinking.
my gosh, that's hilarious.
But speaking of Harry Potter, I do have some news.
Oh, tell us all.
I have some slightly conflicting news because I don't want to give the awful author any more money,
Oh, yeah.
and I'm totally doing it.
Oh, well, you know.
But I'm also like, she's too big. She's one. I don't know what
She's
to
already
do.
won.
My little piddly amount to this
Oh, my
amusement park
gosh.
is not going to make or break her.
Yeah, I really just wish somebody would school her and then she could just like
I know.
become like, hello.
There's just no reason for her to be so openly hateful. Just if you're gonna, just why are you? What?
Yeah.
Nobody asked.
Aaron, I don't know that you're going to sell me on this.
No,
that
no,
you
no.
should now spend your money on her.
No. You can't get mad about it because it's
I'm
happening.
not mad about it. I just would not do it myself, but for multiple reasons, not
You-
just because she's an awful person.
Yeah, it's already, the process has been started. You can't say anything now.
Okay.
Kevin and I are going to Harry Potter World
Oh.
without the kids
Oh my gosh.
And
That's so
with-
weird to me.
and with our friend couple. We're going with them.
Hate to be a judgmental Judy.
No, you don't. You love it. You love it so much.
I don't. I just have never. I don't understand when grown adults go to theme parks. is the strangest thing in the world to me.
I do feel that way about Disney World. Adults who go to Disney
Isn't
World.
that what that is?
No, Harry Potter is immersive and it feels like you're
my gosh.
Harry Potter. I'm never going to feel like I'm like in a Disney movie. I wouldn't want to.
Yeah.
But to feel like you are magic, you get a wand.
Oh gosh, it's
and
all
then
happening.
You get to like do spells to make things happen around you. I've never been. I can't wait.
I am not poo-pooing on your parade. I think this is wonderful. I'm so excited for you. I think that you're going to so get into it. And I really kind of wish I were a fly on the wall, but also I'm glad I'm not there.
I'm glad you're not there too, just because you're watching my kids.
And it would be that
really
too.
difficult if you went with me.
Oh, that's true.
It's going to be amazing. Our oldest is real mad at us, and our younger two are like, actually, middle one was like, well, are you going to buy me something? I was like, yeah, sure. We'll get you a souvenir. And then my youngest got so upset at the idea that she had to spend the night at your house because she one time threw up really bad at your house and now thinks.
I don't know why she's so upset. I had to clean it all up. Like 6 different places she threw up.
I know, it was rough. I'm so sorry.
Man, it was awful.
She's now convinced that if she spends the night at your house, she will throw up everywhere. So
I kind of am too. I'm scared too.
I haven't even told her about Harry Potter because she was so upset about your house that I was like,
that's so silly.
We'll see if we ease into it at some point. See if it gets brought up.
If it makes her feel better, tell her I'll make her sleep on the bathroom floor and get over it. She'll be fine.
You can tell her. I mean, I'll be gone. So
really, it won't be your problem.
It will be your problem completely.
Oh, that's hilarious. Well, I'll try to give her like very bland things.
Yeah.
I don't know what else I can do. How else I can problem solve that problem.
Lots of Sprite.
And crackers. There you go.
That's right.
So Miles got really excited today to tell me about your big scare last night.
Oh, yeah.
He was like, Mom, is it true? I always love these questions. Is it true that Aunt N texted you in the middle of the night last night?
Yeah.
And it took me a minute. I was like, no, why would she do that? And I was like, oh, yeah, she totally did.
Yeah, I did. At 11 o'clock last night, I was just about, I was actually really proud of myself because I was like, it is 11:05.
Yeah.
I'm going to turn off my phone. I'm going to turn off my lights. I'm going to sleep.
Good for you.
So right when I shut off my phone, like the little, so I can't even look at it anymore. I plug it in. I turn around and then it, how you can feel somebody near you?
Oh, that's the worst feeling.
I could feel somebody.
And you're supposed to be alone.
Yeah. I could feel somebody right outside my door. I could just feel their presence. And then, so I froze for a minute and then I heard like little feet scamper away.
Oh my gosh.
And there was no denying. I had just turned off all the sound and I hadn't gone to sleep yet. It wasn't like I was woken up confused.
Right.
Every light out here was off.
Oh my gosh.
And I was like, okay, this is it. This is
coming for you.
I sent you a text immediately.
Yep.
What did it say?
It said, I can hear footsteps, legit footsteps outside my door. Something like that. And I am scared. I just remember the last sentence, I am scared.
Yes, I wrote, I just absolutely heard someone walk in the area outside my room. No one is awake. I'm scared. I walk down my stairs. I say, hello, like this. Nobody answers.
Oh, Erin.
I'm like, oh my gosh. So I take my phone. I turn my flashlight on. I'm turning every light on as I go.
Yeah.
Through every room.
Oh my gosh.
I get to the hallway, walking back to the end of the hallway, and I see Penelope's blankets kind of ruffle.
Ugh.
And so I was like, Penelope. And she was trying to be like, oh, I've been asleep this whole time. So she wasn't responding. And I was like, Penelope. And she was like, oh, what, Groggy? What?
What was she doing, sneaky?
I said, were you awake? I said, you're not in trouble, but I need to know.
Listen to my tone, because it sounds like you are in trouble.
I said, I just need to know, were you just up? Oh, yeah. I was like, why? Why were you doing that? You little creep. What's wrong with you?
That's the scarier than it being a ghost.
Yeah, she said, I thought I forgot something, but I don't think I did. I'm just confused.
Girl, she is pulling your leg. She was going to do something.
She was going to do something because she said this morning, why were you on your phone?
She was checking to see if you were asleep.
Why were you spying on me, you little freak?
I bet she was going to get a snack.
I bet she was going to get on her iPad.
Oh,
I bet she was. Or it's not really an iPad. We're not that rich. Or she's going to get on her Amazon Fire. We call an iPad.
I love it.
I need to recheck those curfews because girlfriend.
Yeah, she was up to something.
Yeah, she's sneaky. But I was so relieved that it wasn't a ghost.
Mm-hmm.
I just wrote you back. Oh my gosh, it was Penelope. My heart is beating out of my chest. So scared last night.
That's hilarious. And then like an hour later, the dogs woke me up, and I looked over and saw my phone had a message, and it was you. And I've read that first one. I was like, oh shit. Like, I am the worst person to text in the middle of the night if something goes down. I just turned that phone on silent, and I care only about my sleep and not about you.
Yeah, I had to turn on a podcast to fall asleep so that I wouldn't be too scared.
Yeah, that is creepy. That is so creepy.
Yeah, for sure.
It reminds me of when I was a kid, but I was a little bit older. I was probably 13, I bet. And we had just gotten new windows and screens. Okay. And Dad had taught us all how to like pop them off in case of a fire.
Okay.
Which then meant I knew exactly how to get out of the house now. It was like they were super easy.
Yeah.
It's like he's showing us how easy it is. The whole time I'm thinking like, score.
Yeah.
This is perfect. I can now sneak out and no one will be the wiser.
Yeah, in case of a fire, you jump through the screen.
Yeah, just get the fuck out.
Don't
like, who
teach
cares?
your teenager.
Open the window and jump out of the... Yeah, don't teach me. But I was taking notes the whole time. Like, got it. Check. I know what I'm doing tonight. Well, sure enough, that night, Mom like comes. She never checked on me. Never. And so I guess I must have made some sort of noise. And I'm like literally opening the screen and she walks in and I'm busted. I mean, I'm totally busted in the act. But either... She was like, look, whatever, just do your thing. I don't know. Like, I would love to go back in time and be like, Mom,
right?
What kind of parent are you? Were you just dumb or did you like, wink, wink, go have fun? I have no idea because
no telling.
She busted me and she was like, what are you doing? And I was like, oh, I realized that my screen wouldn't like pop back in from when Dad showed us today. And she just kind of narrowed her eyes at me a little bit and she's like, go to bed. I was like, oh, I'm totally going to bed. I went to bed for about 10 more minutes and then I got up and snuck out.
Oh my gosh, that's ballsy.
Yeah, well, I am that if nothing else, Erin.
I would have tried it the first time and then once I got busted, be like, it's never happening again.
I knew she wouldn't come back. I'm like, nope. I was lucky if she ever checked on me at all. So I was like, oh, I'm good. Peace out.
Yeah. She wasn't a helicopter parent by any means.
No, she definitely taught us how to be submarine parents.
Yeah, we're Diana Clem parenting.
Absolutely. But the difference is that because I was so ornery and got away with so much, I'm like, oh, I am so on to you, kid. Nice try.
Yeah.
Nice try.
Yeah, for sure.
So I'm watching a very creepy.
Okay, good. I need something scary.
New show on Apple TV called Changeling.
Ooh, I saw the preview for it. I'm already
it's good.
in. I want to watch it.
It's good, but I will give trigger warnings. Like it is very it touches on postpartum.
Okay.
Very heavily, like very, very heavily.
Okay.
So if that is any sort of trigger for anybody out there, I definitely would steer clear of it. I mean, even James, like I went through postpartum myself, although I'm just warped and kind of dead inside. So I got past it and was fine to watch it. But James was like, I got to stop watching this. It's too deep for me. So it is pretty heavy, but it's also very, very creepy.
Yeah.
So if things like that don't bother you and you are there for the creepiness, then definitely watch it. It's good.
Well, I just started watching a show that's like kind of got some mystery but some humor in it, and it's Shelter on Prime TV.
Oh, okay. Nice. I need another one too.
It's a little bit more kitschy. Like I feel like the kids could probably watch it.
Okay.
It's not like Stranger Things level, but they kind of joke around and like talk like middle and high school kids actually would. So there's some cussing and stuff like that. But it's, I like it so far. I've only watched one episode. Yeah, I was actually kind of bummed that we were recording tonight because I was like, I want to see what happens in the next episode. But then I remembered that I like recording with you, so I'm back.
Well, I'll have to check that out. Sounds like a great show. So Saturday night, I had the time of my life.
Oh, rude. Okay.
I know. Sorry. Besides right now. This is amazing. Sure. It's so fun.
Can't even think of what I did on Saturday night, so I'm really offended.
Oh, well, sorry. I discovered a new band.
Oh, right.
Stoplight Observations. It's a very strange name.
Yeah.
I've had tickets for this band. Well, James, he got tickets for us like a month ago, and he's been talking about it nonstop. Somebody will be like, who are you going to go see? I'm like, I have no idea. I hear the name and it goes right out. Like if I could give them one critique, it would be pick a new band name.
Yeah, stoplight observations makes me think of something really boring.
Yeah, they're not at all. They're really good. So look into them. I mean, and honestly, he's better, or the band is better live than they are like I was like, yeah, they're okay. Like he would let me listen to them, like, yeah, I like them. But they were so good live. So if you ever get the opportunity, don't ever listen to them until you hear them live.
Oh, wow. That's very specific.
Oh, I'm teasing. But James's best friend and his new girlfriend came to, so we were meeting the new girlfriend for the first time. And, you know, there's always a little bit of this like, am I going to like this girl? What's going to happen here? I'm happy to report she was lovely. She was funny. She was young.
Huh?
I mean, like he was young too. It was appropriate. It was an appropriate amount of young. I'm just old. And
was
awkward.
that a criteria for you to like her?
Old and awkward. No, I just mean like there was an age gap, which whenever there tends to be an age gap with me, I'm like, oh, here we go.
Yeah.
Like I'm going to be that old person, which, you know, it did happen at one point. I caught myself like while we were all like jamming to the music, I like started snapping. And I'm like, oh no, it's happening. Like stop. I had to like audibly in my mind, like quit snapping, Megan, quit. I was like, oh man. I'm getting so old. I'm like that old couple you see at, you're like, oh, well, they're out of place, but they're having the time of their life. Like, that's kind of how I felt. But she didn't seem to notice or care. Or if she did notice, she was like, whatever. That's cool.
Let's see what she's talking about on her podcast
I know,
this week.
Right? But her name is Jen and lovely. And I told her, we're all standing around in a circle. And somehow, oh, I know, James had another friend that was there from his work. Kind of a loose cannon.
Okay.
Funny guy. Told me he was going to write in a lot of stories.
Okay.
But like.
They always say that.
I know they do. His energy was a little bit different than our energy. Like we were all kind of coming in chill. He was like super pumped to be there, super excited to see us, and super like into Waverly Hills. Like, so it just came out of nowhere and he started talking about it. And of course I'm like, this is my moment. I've been waiting to drop the fact that I have a podcast because Jen could be a new listener.
Sure.
I could be cool. I don't know. I think young kids think podcasts are cool these days.
Yeah, maybe.
We're probably outdated now.
It's probably, it's right. Old people have podcasts.
Podcasts, they hit their wave like 2 years ago and now it's done. But anyway, in my mind, I thought, ooh, she'll think I'm really cool if I happen to drop the fact that I have a podcast. But, I don't want to be that person that just sits there in an awkward silence. So I have a podcast. So, I played it cool until Waverly Hills came up. And then I was like, oh, I'm totally skeptical. And then, of course, James is like, he did good. He was like, well, of course you are. You have that podcast. So, yeah, we nailed it on the delivery. And then she was so cute. She was like, I already thought you were cool. And you have a podcast? I'm like, oh, I could hug you right now. She was amazing. But then this guy's girlfriend was like, I think I've heard of your podcast.
What?
The guy that works with James. And I was like, no, you haven't. And she was very quiet. She's like, I think I have. Like, you're skeptical and your sister believes. And I'm like, like my jaw is dropped. And he was like, but then I realized I think I've met her before at like one of James's work functions. And I was like, I bet you have heard about it.
Don't tell us that part.
I know, but I didn't really tell her that. But then later on, I was like, there is no way she has heard of our podcast just because. Then I thought, she did seem very familiar. So I'm pretty sure it was like last year's 4th of July party.
Well,
but
fine.
It's fine. Whatever. She's heard of us at least.
It's fine. She probably doesn't remember that.
Right.
And now she's like,
through me. Even if it was through me.
Yeah. Awkward.
Oh, it's fine. It's fine. We're going to get voted number 1 in Leo. So,
oh, girl, I hope so.
Right. Then everybody. Yeah. I mean, I have voted every day.
I forgot to vote the last day. I know.
After you reminded everybody else to?
I know.
I bet that's why we'll lose.
Oh, if we lose, that's why.
That is. There it is.
All I know is if we come in second to an unknown podcast.
Yeah, I don't care if we come in second, third, fourth. I don't even care if we don't come in. But if that one podcast from last year wins, I'll be pissed.
Yeah, if a legit good... Not that they're not good. I don't want to say that because maybe they're great, but they're not real.
But a fully functioning. It has to be a fully functioning
I need to be able
podcast.
to search up the name of the winner.
Yeah, and you have to have like more than one episode.
Yeah, and more than 5 reviews. Okay, we're getting petty again. I'm getting petty again.
It's so easy to do. It's just so easy to go there. Anyway, so apparently we've been discovered.
Sweet.
And
so has the traffic light observance.
Stoplight Observations.
Stoplight
They
observation.
really are actually good. So,
Okay.
so check them out. They were also, so this is how old I am. Because, it's Bourbon Beyond this weekend.
Oh, yeah.
If you were from Louisville, you know what that is. Huge concert. Lots of people go. I've never been. I feel like it's kind of like crack cocaine. I'm like, I've never tried it.
Yeah.
So therefore, I don't know what I'm missing.
Right. Because once you go, it becomes, it's worse than sourdough. It becomes your
It
personality.
really does. It really does.
People go every single year.
Mhm.
It's all people talk about at my school for
I
a
know.
month leading up and a month over. I'm like, girl, you're
It just
outside.
seems like so much work.
Yeah. And I'm like, all y'all talk about is the music. Was there bourbon?
Yeah, where's the bourbon talk? So anyway, that it's happening in town. So apparently stoplight observations, they're getting pretty big.
Oh.
But because of all of everything else that was going on in Louisville, it was a little bit low in numbers. And
Yeah.
he even started off with, there's stiff competition in Louisville tonight. But apparently the Black Keys, two of the I think there's two, right, in Black Keys?
I couldn't tell you.
I knew you would know. I think there's two. One of them and another guy do a little side whatever, and they were supposed to be at that same bar later on that night. So the bartender, who I happen to know, she was like, you should stick around. Black Keys are going to be here. I'm like, really? What time? And she was like, midnight. I was like, oh my God, I'll totally be gone by then. We will not be out that late. So we didn't make it. We didn't make it for the Black Keys, which is hilarious because they would be the ones that I would know. And I love the Black Keys, but
I have no idea who the Black Keys are.
Aaron Taylor.
What?
You don't know who the Black Keys are?
No, I'm thinking of Andy Davis, who sings, I play on the Black Keys, but that's a different.
That's definitely not them. I'm going to play
he's
you one
a
of their
little
songs.
tiny singer.
I'm going to play you one of their songs. That's
Okay.
awful. You should definitely know who they are.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, gosh. Again, don't mean to be judgmental, Judy, but
Again, you love it. How about a story? You
can't really help it. Oh, yeah. It's time for that. Rue. Hey again.
Almost spit out all of that. Was so unexpected.
I'm so excited that you're here tonight because we are reading your husband's story that you submitted.
Yay! I can't wait to hear it.
I'm so excited. Okay, so this is Darnell's story.
All right.
Now, I don't know, Never, if you want, you have so much power right now. You could cut anything. I could debunk this and you all, the audience, may never hear it. Oh, it's hilarious. I feel like Rue is she's putting her little hands together
she's clipping your voice together. Yeah. And she's like, wow, Rue, you have completely convinced me.
Oh, love it. Okay, so I don't know, Rue, if you want me to read this first part, but I found you hilarious, so I'm just going to go ahead and read it. If you don't want anybody to hear it, go ahead and cut it. You've got full power. Hey, y'all, here are some stories from my husband, Darnell, he, him. I've taken the liberty to demilitarify, that's hard to say, demilitarify and tipsy reader proof his work because even though I told him that by 10 p.m. and a few beers, you wouldn't be interested in reading the word. Okay, here's a word. Antediluvian. Okay. He didn't listen.
Okay.
Antediluvian.
It's just like throwing alphabet soup at me. I cannot see letters. When you read things to me, it's I can't
when I
picture
give you
it.
directions, you just stop listening.
Yeah, I don't even attempt to look at it in my head.
Antediluvian is what I'm going to say.
Okay.
No idea what it means.
Sounds great to me.
Beautiful word, though.
Yeah.
Especially if I'm pronouncing it right.
If anybody's expecting a baby girl, I'd say that's a beautiful name.
Come here, Antediluvian.
Oh, Antediluvian. Did you have a good day at school?
Delvey.
Oh, I was kidding at first.
Let's get on board here, Delvey.
Not it.
Oh, yeah. No. Baby maker is shut down here, even if the name like that existed. Oh, it is a cute name. What? No idea what it means.
No.
Okay. So here is Darnell's story. Staff duty oddities. The unexplainable typically follows the military lifestyle. The profession ensures soldiers operate during odd hours of the night in historical locations. I have personally experienced several peculiar occurrences during overnight staff duties at Fort Jackson, South Carolina. Staff duty requires soldiers to operate throughout the night to ensure property, equipment, or people are preserved, working overnight to pull security detail and make sure the base stays shenanigan-free.
Okay.
It's kind of a fun job.
Yeah. I like that you have to preserve people.
Yeah. That's a lovely way of saying that. It's a military fate that even Army officers cannot avoid. Being stationed at Fort Jackson meant my staff duty entailed checking on basic training, in parentheses, soldier trainees throughout the night to ensure no one ran off.
Oh.
Wow. I guess that was a thing.
Yeah.
What is that called?
I was just going to ask you that. There's like a...
Of course we both don't know.
There's a
Deserting.
name for it. Deserting. Look at you.
Thank you. Fort Jackson, South Carolina is usually a sweltering location. Yet even the... I really love the picture we're getting here.
Yeah.
Yet even the southern area can succumb to frigid winter temperatures. The first peculiar instance occurred with a drill sergeant accompanying me on the staff duty checks around 2:30 a.m.
Ooh.
While the drill sergeant and I were unlocking one of the dormitories, a rolling mist surrounded one of the grassy hills that surrounded the complex, nearly 15 to 20 meters out.
Huh.
Fort Jackson was established during the 20th century, yet South Carolina is entrenched in Civil War history. The rolling mist seemed to form around a small team of figures, approximately a 4 to 5 person group.
Whoa.
What? The personified mist seemed to take an antiquated form. The winter haze revealed the figures in Civil War attire.
Oh my gosh.
Here we go. You didn't take that out, Rue. You left antebellum in there. She left it in there, but she explains what it is.
And she said at the beginning she had to leave it in there. He wouldn't take that part out.
Oh, funny. I read that wrong. I read that as though, like, hey, I took that word out. Antediluvian, hella old.
Okay, great.
Okay, so thank you for that explanation. I'm not going to say it again. I want to keep saying it, but I already did, so let's move on. Hella old. Rucksacks, boots with the long white coverings, bayonets, and cotton blue uniforms, thankfully. Oh, yeah, right? The strangest part is that I pointed this scene out to my accompanying drill sergeant, who noted the odd shape of the mist as well.
The mist is turning into this?
That's what it sounds like.
Sounds like the mist is turning into these soldiers.
What? We stared at this scene for nearly 30 seconds without the mist breaking form.
Oh.
The utter strangeness of this moment and a desire to conclude the dull duty pulled us back to our operation. I would not be able to.
No. There are 4 ghosts standing in front of you.
Right. Like, we're going to stand here and wait this out.
And you're both seeing it.
Yeah.
Oh,
where's the iPhone?
I can't
Pull
wait.
that shit out.
Can't wait to hear what you have to say about this, but okay.
Well, again, where's the iPhone? Why didn't somebody pull
They're
that?
on duty. I don't think they're allowed to just have their
when
cell
there's
phones.
ghosts, I feel like you can break the rules.
Like they knew there was going to be ghosts.
Throughout the night, the odd misty moment would occasionally creep into conversation, and neither of us could explain away what we were observing. Be on the lookout for another story about a different duty night and something running around playing tricks on him and the other person on duty. Ooh, that's so creepy.
Okay, before you debunk anything, I would like to ask for a question, and sadly, she has not moved to Louisville yet, so
I know. What is up with
can't
that?
actually get a question in time. But I wonder if Darnell believed in ghosts before this. Like, is he more prone to see something and be like, oh, that looks like a figure?
Good question. Like, is he a skeptical believer?
Oh my gosh. To be with somebody else and you're both seeing mist change into 4 soldiers, shut your face.
Well, and I think, so I want to, like, have coffee with Darnell.
Okay.
To tell him how lovely Rue is. But
Sure.
I think he probably already knows that.
I'd love to have coffee with both of them.
Oh, yeah. Rue could be there.
Okay.
For sure. But my questions would be, and who are we kidding? Really, let's have a glass of wine. I mean, if we're going to sit down and have a cocktail or have a drink, it better be a cocktail. Anyway, my question is, like, the uniform was blue. Like, he described color. So is the mist, like, turning into such fine detail?
Oh, yeah.
Because, it's like you can take it 2 ways. I was just thinking like it formed kind of like the silhouette of soldiers. And to me, that I can debunk.
Okay. If that were the case, how would you debunk that?
Well, like the power of suggestion.
Nobody's talking.
Your location, the location alone
And you're both
is the
seeing
suggestion. Well, yeah. But, you're seeing this rolling mist that is looking like something.
Okay.
I mean, Miles and I can both look up in the clouds and see what looks like the shape of an elephant because it's in the actual shape and it looks like an elephant.
Yeah. Okay.
And if we are looking at mist that happens to be happening in a very historical place, both of our minds might go there.
Okay. There's a lot of detail. We got boots.
We do. We
white.
do. And that's where I need more, like, how much detail did you see? Did you
A lot.
just see the outline?
A lot of detail.
Or did your mind
Saw
fill
the
in the
bayonets.
blanks? Or did your mind fill in the blanks?
They saw bayonets.
Mm-hmm.
They
well, I mean,
saw
that's can be a shape. That's
boots
like
with the fur. And they saw blue
Or
uniforms.
did it look like the outline of all those things and his mind just filled it in?
No, I don't think so.
He said, what, 30 seconds?
30 seconds count to 30 right now. It's actually a long time.
For real? You want me to?
No, that'd be so
I feel
boring.
like that's so boring.
Because
I mean, I could
it's
try
a long
to jazz
time.
it up. But it's really not. Like 30 seconds in live time when
30
you're looking
seconds
at something.
when you are looking at something unbelievable
Mm-hmm.
and it's just staying there for 30
Right.
seconds is actually a good enough time to really look around.
So my wondering is, your mind goes to, you see this, and it's odd that it's in the shape of a historical moment and you happen to be on a battlefield. So that alone would be like mind blowing.
Yeah.
So then when you go back to your memory, is your memory filling in all those details?
No way.
I
There's
think
two
a way.
people there.
Yeah.
No.
That's the other question. Can the other guy describe like exactly everything that he did that Darnell did too?
I don't know.
Or was it just the shape and Darnell's mind filled all in the blanks? Because, I mean, your mind would do that. Your mind could do that.
Whatever.
Just saying.
There was a lot of detail.
Power of suggestion is what I'm going to go with.
Whenever somebody specifically points out something and you just choose to ignore that.
I'm not ignoring it. I'm telling you that the power of suggestion is real and it's big time and your brain is very powerful. So it can fill in the blanks. It can paint a picture that might not be there. Because in that moment, it felt eerie. It felt weird. It felt like, here comes this rolling mist. I mean, I've never been somewhere where I've seen a rolling mist just come in. So that alone is like this, oh my gosh, what are we? But at some point, mist rolls in. Whether I'm there or not, the mist is going to roll in. If I'm there, then it's like extra creepy. And now I'm starting to see what I think looks like bayonets. I'm seeing the outline. I'm like, this is insane. And then when I go back to that memory later on, all of a sudden it's got complete detail.
Whatever. He saw all 4 of the figures having all the same detail. That doesn't happen in cloud work, in mist work.
Or it could be a prank.
Absolutely not. That's ridiculous. They're on duty.
Well, say duty one more time.
Duty. Okay. I am going to read my next story because I don't believe your debunk.
Well, nobody asked you.
Actually, they did. You're not the most important part. We're equally important here.
Okay, fine. Good
Okay.
grief, got real touchy there at the end.
Okay, I am going to read a story that you found for us.
Mm-hmm. I harangued them in.
That's right. This is from Kevin, not my Kevin. As far as I know, unless he's going by an alias on here and decides to only share his ghost stories online, which would be rude.
That'd be really, really mean of him to
That'd
do.
be so mean. I'd leave him.
Ultra passive aggressive.
He is a little passive
He's
aggressive
like,
about this podcast, so I can
really
see it
is.
happen.
But it'd be really funny to like throw one out there just in case we actually like came
Right.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, I don't really love that you do this, but I do want to be talked about.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so this is a story from Kevin. Although some dreams about the departed could be our subconscious mind playing tricks on us,
kind of like what I was just saying a minute ago. But go ahead.
others prove to be far more connected to the paranormal and can be horrific nightmares. Kind of like I was just saying.
Okay.
Okay. The following very disturbing experience was far beyond dreams, mind games, or coincidence, and could have only been attributed to some kind of paranormal experience.
Well, I'll be the judge of that.
When I was 18, I worked in a factory. The job I was assigned to was hard, mundane work, cleaning piston engine parts in a sandblaster. This really could be Kevin. My Kevin. I don't have any idea what he does.
That's great. Sounds like something he'd do.
Yeah, I'm like, is that a car? I feel like he has something to do with cars.
Also, like, you have been married for like 2010. How long have you been married?
16 years.
16 years. You're like, I don't know what he does.
Well, I memorized what I thought he told me to tell people. And about 12 years into our marriage, I said it in front of him, and he's like, that is not what I do. I'm like,
my gosh.
that is what you told me Tool and Die was.
Oh,
And that's what I've told
hilarious.
everybody. And he's like, that's definitely not what I do. And I said, well, don't tell me now because
I won't remember.
I will continue with he builds and maintains the machines that print out car parts. Apparently, that's not what he does.
Oh, it sounds lovely.
Right? It gives you a clear picture.
I mean, I could picture it.
I could start saying he works at cleaning piston engine parts with a sandblaster. Who knows?
Try that on.
It's a full mystery. The machine was in a small room with just 3 of us working in there. One of the guys, Terry, was my age, and we became good friends. One freezing cold Friday night, I had arrived home on my motorcycle from visiting a girlfriend. Oh, not Kevin. Kevin was a big nerd before he met me. Then he stayed a nerd because he just stayed with me. But hey, I'll take it. I love a nerd. I was tired and cold and went straight to bed. I had a nightmare in which I had an experience of looking down at a certain section of road that was instantly recognizable to me, and not many miles from my parents' house where I was living at the time.
So, wait, he's in a factory?
And then he goes home on his motorcycle.
Oh, okay.
And he has a dream.
Okay, got it.
Okay. A nightmare, sorry. It was as though I was viewing the scene from the air looking down. Ooh, so he's like out of his body. In the dream, a blue Ford Granada.
Oh, Granada.
Okay. That's another pretty name. Was traveling in one direction. Coming the other direction was a small red Triumph sports car. I could see the cars as clear as day, and yet it was a dark night. The Triumph took a left-hand bend, overshot, and carried straight on into the path of the Ford, causing a head-on collision. Another indistinguishable car skidded to a halt behind the Triumph, and there was a feeling of pandemonium, panic, and raw emotion that strangely seemed to radiate into me. This feeling appeared to emit from the people in the last car. Okay, so he's like feeling the emotions of the people in the last car.
That's weird.
Who were running in all directions in a state of confusion and utter panic. Strangely, it felt like I was a part of it all, and could at times feel the anguish and mental pain of the people running around. As if this was not bad enough, by far the most disturbing perception was that I seemed to instantly change from one individual's consciousness to morphing or melting into others.
That's weird.
As the feeling of panic instantly stopped, I could feel the physical pain building up of what I interpreted to be severe pressure on my legs and severe chest and head pains.
Oh my God.
I awoke gasping for breath in a state of dread and panic, and could remember every detail and every emotion. I still can to this day.
Wow.
The whole thing was deeply disturbing. It overwhelmingly occupied my mind the entire weekend. When I went to work on the Monday, Terry was not there. I found out later that his sister and her boyfriend were killed in a car accident on the Saturday night.
Oh, no.
Not the same Friday as the dream. I found later from the local newspaper that the cars involved and the location of the accident were identical to the dream.
Whoa.
Wow. It doesn't say wow, that was my wow.
Right.
It turned out that Terry and his older sister were traveling in the car behind, and Terry and his sister attempted trying to extract their gravelly injured sister from the wreckage of the sports car.
Awful.
It was as if I was experiencing their anxiety and panic in the dream.
Oh my God.
I had never met Terry's deceased sister, but oddly, when I saw her photo in the local paper, for some inexplicable reason, her face was so familiar. It was as though I had known her as well. For several weeks, I felt a great sense of personal loss. All very odd. I remember every detail today as clearly as I did then, many decades ago.
Wow.
Man, that is wild.
That's
so
wild.
Sad.
It is so sad, and that's unlike any story I've ever heard.
Right.
It's almost like what is that called?
Out of body experience, or
it's out of body.
Astro projecting.
Astro projecting.
Yeah.
But everything I know about astro projecting, I'm kidding. I know nothing about astro projecting. Isn't it like you intentionally do it?
No, I think you can. I don't think you have to do it intentionally.
Really?
Yeah, like I think you can train yourself to do it intentionally, but you can also just kind of skip out of your body.
So, I don't know if it's because of the couple of beers that I've had or what, but that seems more believable to me than like a ghost.
Okay. That feels weird to me that you think that.
It feels weird to me, and I guarantee you next week I will take it all back. But in this moment right here, after hearing that story, there's something about like the sixth sense.
Yeah.
Or just like, that old we only use 10% of our brain.
Right.
So what could we do with the rest of it?
Yeah.
That comes to mind. It's like there's so many mysteries out there as far as the brain goes. And I'm the first one to say how powerful your brain is.
Yeah.
And the powers that it can do, like with suggestion, like I talked about in the last story, that it's interesting to me, the idea that you could visualize something like a pathway
Yeah.
to get to some place.
Right.
But then in that same time, the same moment that I say that, I'm like, yeah, but you can't. Or like, yeah, like I'm arguing with my own self. I'm like, yeah, but I can visualize. Like right now I can close my eyes and visualize how to get to work.
Yeah.
Because I do it every day.
Right.
But that doesn't mean I'm actually there.
Yeah, but if you are somebody who doesn't like to argue too much about the Matrix, what if it's just like a glitch in the Matrix where you're seeing a different part of the Matrix?
Yeah, like a different person's.
Yeah.
You're like hopping all of a sudden.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I don't believe in the Matrix. I really don't. I'm like, I don't believe that we are a part of the Matrix. I do believe that I don't know. I do believe that I don't know. I don't know what we are part of.
I believe that about you too.
Absolutely. So, yeah. but in a humble way of like, I don't know. I don't have the answers, I don't. So, who knows? But man, what a sad story. And
know.
Like the responsibility of feeling that.
Right.
And then living with that. And I apologize, but I got really caught up in like part of it. And I think I missed. Did Terry live?
I think Terry lived. And
that to me, like the gravity of then seeing Terry.
Right.
And you felt as though you were Terry.
I know. Like, do you ever tell him? Like,
no,
I feel like I saw this happen.
Well, and that's that like fine line of like, when you empathize with somebody, you also don't want to make their pain
about you.
Yeah. But then if you actually felt it, I feel like you might need some therapy too. Like there's just
don't turn to that person for it.
Right. It feels like they had their own things that they were dealing with. So that's like, it's like layers upon layers of odd. That's just odd. I don't know what that falls under.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess paranormal, paranormal is just unexplained, right? Is that just another word for unexplained?
Yeah, that's what I take it as. I don't really know. I don't know. Paranormal feels more ghosty.
Yeah. I don't feel like it's a UFO. I haven't had one in a long time. And I think this lands on that because it's not necessarily a ghost story.
Right.
But it's like, well, then what was that?
Yeah. Ugh.
Because he knew the cars. He knew the location. Yeah. He knew how they felt.
Right. And he like recognized her when he saw her later.
Yeah, that's wild.
That is really wild.
Wow.
Oh, and so sad.
It is so sad. What a story.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's cheer it up with a fan favorite.
Thank you. Well, and don't I have one to do just the trick?
Okay.
Oh my gosh. If this guy has not become one of our favorite people.
Oh, a guy. We rarely make them fan favorites.
Well, yeah, but this isn't just any old guy. This is Danny.
This
is our Danny. Danny, you have come through. I mean, I'm just so glad I found you. Again, dibs on Danny. I was thinking the other day, I was like, man, I'm so glad that Danny's like our fan or, a fan of ours, blah, blah. And I was like, surely he's been a fan favorite. And then I looked back and I was like, oh, we have not had Danny be a fan favorite. So I said, Danny. I mean, I just laid on thick. But I mean, how can you not? It's Danny.
I know.
Right? So I'm
Adorable.
like, Danny, we just love you. It is your time. Oh, I meant to say, don't you hate when you go back and you see your typos? I was trying to say, it is your time, friend. But I said, it is his time. It is his time, Danny.
It is his time.
It is his time, Danny. Okay, it is your time, friend. You are my pick for fan favorite. That's right. My pick.
Yeah, they're all your picks now. I gave it up.
Some of them you try to get in there on. What can we plug for you and to thank you for being so awesome? And he sends back, oh my God, no way. I was going to visit a friend in Ohio tonight, but I'm shooting straight to the moon instead. Thank you so much. There are so many good causes out there right now. LGBT plus, people of color, and animal rights are extremely important to me right now. But at this moment, I think abortion rights are the most important. It seems like every day we are taking a step back as a nation, and I fear we are headed to a dystopian future in which, I thought we were going to bring it up, but here we are. But no, I hear you, Danny. And I fear we are heading to a dystopian future in which we might not come back from, and we have to fight, fight, fight. So if you could please donate to any foundation of your choice that supports women's rights to choose what happens to your own dang bodies. Old crusty white men should not choose what women do with their bodies.
Preach.
Love you gals, right? Oh, look, I had Delta Burke from Designing Women say, amen and hallelujah. That was my gif. And then I said, this is why we love you, Danny. I'll read your message exactly as it is so that we can bring attention to all your awesome causes. Thank you, Danny. Have fun in Ohio. And he just sent back thanks.
Oh, that's awesome. And I've got an update from the story that we read.
Ooh.
Danny sent in an update. Would you like it?
Yes, absolutely. It's like a little bonus Danny. Who doesn't like extra Danny?
Nobody's ever complained about extra Danny.
Never, never. And if they did, I'd beat them up.
Okay, so the subject line says, hey girls, and then it says immediately in the body of the email, please let me know if that's not okay for me to call you guys girls. It's totally fine. We're fine with it.
Yes, absolutely.
I hope this email finds y'all well. I binged the episode with my stories on Monday. I think it was Aaron that asked if I had any marks on my body. I did not. Other than my hair starting to fall out, the only thing I've noticed is that I don't like water as much as I used to.
Oh, that's right. Wow. Hold on. It took me a minute to get caught up on which story because we've read a couple of stories. This is the one from where he may have been abducted by aliens.
Right.
Okay.
So I don't like water as much as I used to as far as drinking it goes.
That's weird.
Sometimes it even makes me gag, and this is from multiple sources.
Huh.
Sometimes my filtered sink water does it, sometimes even bottled water. It's not all the time, just sometimes.
How weird.
As far as using my Meijer discount goes, Megan. Girl, anytime.
Yeah, let's get down to business. Thank you, Danny. Let's get down to business.
But those cheap billionaire brothers only give us 10% off general merchandise.
Ugh,
cheap,
bastards.
cheap, cheap. I'll say that to their faces, too. I don't gaff. What does GAF mean?
I don't give a fuck.
Oh, there you go. Look at you. I have some short ghost stories coming your way when I'm up for it. Thanks for keeping me snorting at work and keeping my spirits high during these tough times.
Oh my gosh. Danny, we love you. You know what Danny does for me? Danny, like I love seeing Danny's posts on Facebook because it's kind of what I thought our Facebook page would be.
Okay.
I mean, I love our Facebook page for what it is.
Okay.
But he reports after like every episode that he watches. Have you noticed this?
Or listens to. Danny doesn't have any special connection to our video chat.
Oh, that's hilarious. Yeah, I guess I associate the word episode with watch. But yes, after every episode he listens to, he like updates like a play-by-play after he listens to an episode.
Yeah.
He like kind of recaps a little bit and then his thoughts to it. And that's kind of what I thought Facebook would be. Turns out Facebook's a lot of memes, a lot of GIFs, whatever you want to call them, which I love. I love all of that.
Right.
But when Danny comes in, like, look at you listening. Although today, a lot of people updated things. You know, I mean, we were fucking hilarious last week. So what are you gonna do? You're gonna go on there tonight. I bet we won't get anything next week. But somebody posted about Channing Tatum, and you know,
yeah. I also looked that it's totally Channing Tatum on IMDb.
Shut up, Aaron. So you lied to us.
I didn't lie. TikTok lied to me, and I conveyed the lie to you.
I feel like you do that a lot.
Yeah, I'm not denying it.
Might be one of your personalities.
Yeah, it is true.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, sorry about that, everybody. My bad.
Well, anyway, Danny I love it. After an episode, he listens to it. He kind of like points out his highlights of the episode. I'm like, oh, Danny, so validating. I'm definitely words of affirmation is my love language, Danny. And you
just
give
said
it to me
last week that you didn't need that.
I know, but I do love it.
Yeah,
I don't need it. I'm just like, oh, that's so kind when I get it.
No, I love it too.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Yeah.
All right. Well.
Not validation, not words of validation, words of affirmation.
Affirmation. Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Mm-hmm.
We do say we like that.
Yeah.
I definitely like that.
I don't know. It's really weird to me when that's not their love language.
Yeah.
I'm like, why wouldn't you like that?
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
Sorry about your luck. I'm going to give it to you anyway.
Yeah, I made a fourth grader talk about how cute I was the other day. I was like,
wait, Erin.
She was talking.
Force somebody.
She was talking all about this. Like, we have this really cool new hip teacher, and she looks very cool. She dresses very cool. She's right across from me, and this sweet little girl was like, "I really like your outfit today, and your hair always looks really nice. Is it natural?" She kept going on and on, and I'm standing right there, and finally I was like, hey, you got anything for me? What's up? And she was like, I really like your nose ring. I was like, oh, thank you. I was kidding.
There it is.
I was kidding, but now I like it. Keep it going. I feel so much better about this Friday.
I love it.
And really quick, before we move on completely, I know that it's time to wrap this up.
Yeah.
While watching TikTok the other day, someone was talking about magnesium spray. And they ended it with, and I kind of like the vivid dreams. And I was like, oh my gosh.
Oh.
I didn't realize that was definitely a side effect.
Listen, if you hear it on TikTok, I hear it's truth.
Yeah, well, I'm just saying, remember that fish dream? It was so vivid.
Yeah, I do remember that. I mean, I don't know how anybody could forget it.
No, you couldn't. Okay, we're moving on. Thank you guys for writing your stories in, letting us read those stories. And thank you, Danny, for being an awesome fan of ours so we could support you on Fan Favorite. Thank you
so much.
If you would like to join our Patreon or check out how to write us in or find out where to listen or anything about live events, you can find this all on our website at www.myskepticalsister.com. Our Patreon is $3 a month for bonus content pretty much weekly. You get a magnet, you get a sticker. If you just joined, it's coming soon, I promise. I'm going to get that in the mail this week. $5 a month gets you all that plus our movie once a month. You can find us on our socials like Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and you can rate, review, subscribe on Apple Podcasts or wherever you listen to your podcasts. You can also write us in directly at myskepticalsister@gmail.com. And I think it's up to you. We'll talk to you guys next week.
Adeus.
Is that really how you say goodbye?
Portuguese.
Oh, I like that.
I know. Adeus.
La 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 la.
Ta-da.
Where do you go after that? Like after you say, if you don't have something directly lined up.
Yeah, I don't know. Clearly.
Well, and I feel like I always do. So I'm like, oh, give her a chance. Like,
oh, no. Don't
step back.
Please don't ever give me a chance to lead. You know, I am a follower to my core. You should probably tell Rue that we're
back.
We're coming back in as if we never left.
That's right. Do your magic right there. Make us sound funny, hilarious, and beautiful. On my staff. I guarantee Darnell does not say that. On my staff, duty.
He was on my staff.
Darnell, I made you so country. Let's try that again. Boots with the long white.
Not with the
you
fur.
You know what I want to say. Boots with the fur. She had the whole club looking at her. So sorry. So sorry for everything.
Sorry.
Drop the mic.
Drop it.
No, we're going to watch one tonight. I mean, not tonight. Unless you're listening to this on Thursday. This week.
Last week we were so good and we talked about it they're done.
Yeah, but they missed it. So maybe they want to come back and join for next month.
But you just said we're going to watch one this week.
Cut all that room. I'm only half listening because I'm looking up goodbye.
No, that's why I'm like, shut up. We nailed it.
Sorry. Sometimes I feel like you need my help. I don't ever feel that way.
Tell us how you really feel.
I don't ever feel that way. I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
Yeah, they don't like when you call them Amy officers.
I would imagine not. Hold on. Unless their name's Amy.
Excuse me.
Okay.
Amy Armor officers.
Oh, that's a mouthful.
That's what she said.
I knew that was coming. Okay.
That's what she said.
I didn't see that one coming. That was good. That was really good.